Hello, guys. How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Robin here, and you're watching the Anonymous Liberty Media. And if you've got this transmission, you are the resistance. Now, I found something today, and this is kind of goofy. So let's get to it. Washington State is suing Google and Facebook. That's right, suing Google and Facebook over election ad disclosure. Imagine that shit. The state of Washington said on Monday it had sued Facebook Inc. and Alphabet Inc.'s Google for violating state campaign finance law by failing to maintain information about who buys election ads. Holy crap. The state's Attorney General, Bob Ferguson, who posted copies of the lawsuit on his website, said he was seeking penalties against the companies and an injunction for failing to disclose ad spendings in the state election since 2013. Representative for Google could not be immediately be reached for comment, like Facebook. Google has pledged to create an online archive of ads. Let's see here. Let me see here. Let me see here. Facebook is looking forward to resolve the lawsuit quickly after recently uploaded tools for people who are seeking to build Facebook said it's looking forward to resolving the lawsuit quickly after it recently introduced tools for people to see who is buying political ads on its social network. A representative for Google cannot immediately be reached for comment like Facebook. Google has pledged to create an online archive of ads that are running on its service. Facebook and Google has faced criticism from lawmakers, users, and advocates for campaign financial regulation for their role of selling political ads after Russians allegedly used fake names to buy ads to sway American voters around the 2016 presidential election. Unlikely that most U.S. jurisdictions, both Washington State and the city of Seattle, have laws dating to the 1970s that requires companies that sell advertising, such as radio stations, to disclose who buys political ads. Other states put the burden of disclosure on the buyers themselves. Seattle officials said in February that he thought Facebook was in violation of the city's law, though Seattle was not sued the company. Ferguson said his office received a citizen complaint in April alleging that Facebook and Google have not provided legal required information on political ads. Imagine that shit. Now, I think that if you're a company that buys ads, whether it's on the newspaper, TV news, radio stations, or social media, you have to disclose this information. Because it would be a wise thing to do, because you gotta think here. People want to know, okay? Because tax dollars are being used to pay for these ads. I mean, they're being used to pay for ads. And I mean, that's like if I had a company that was worth multi-millions of dollars, in the millions, or in the billions. And I'm donating loads of money to a campaign that's to a campaign that's where I'm buying ads for this campaign for this candidate. So I'm throwing in money in donations, but also paying for this campaign spot for this candidate. It's my job to disclose that I'm buying these ads. I'm buying ads. So I'm like, okay. After reading the article here, that there are laws in other states that it puts the blame and burden on the buyer themselves. It does. It puts a lot of blame on the buyer themselves, and just really puts a huge burden. Uber is banned in Turkey, president says. Uber ban. Shit. I read this article. Man. Uber currently runs under a license that costs less than a taxi plate, about $760 instead of the $360,000 US dollars. It bugs me because you got people who come to this country just want to work, find a better life for themselves and families. Especially if you're driving a taxi. Lyft is the same thing. They're both the same as Uber. It's pretty cool that you want to make some extra cash. Uber's a pretty good company. They kind of want to, and when I look at this cab here, this is a little die-cast version of the Checker Marathon cab. See, I've always liked these cabs because it's a symbol of these cars have history. I went with my mother to take my son to this train station, and I'm seeing these guys, taxi drivers, just sitting in their car, just standing there waiting for a passenger. And these guys do it every day, all day, and that's how they make their money. There's a guy, he's driving a kind of a minivan, and one guy is driving like a small SUV or some kind of SUV and whatnot. And they take these cars and they turn them into taxi cabs. And these guys work hard. If you look at the cabs in New York, they're barely being used. The drivers are trying to make money, and they buy these medallions to put on their car. They gotta pay up to $10,000 just for this fucking medallion to put on their car. And this guy who he's a billionaire, and he runs a taxi company, a pretty big taxi company and shit. And he's, making money off the medallions and shit. Making money off the medallions to these drivers. And it's really kind of fucked up because you have drivers who've been driving for years. I mean, years. And most of them are Middle Eastern. Some are. Here in California, you got a lot of Hispanic men driving cabs, just trying to make ends meet, you know. And you got these, and you got Uber. I mean, yeah, Uber's pretty good if you want to make some extra money and shit. But if you do it a lot, you can make about what 30 to 40,000. Was it 35, 45,000 a year and shit doing it? And and you gotta think, you know, it's pretty much that. Yeah, but you're making some money, but you're not making very much. You know, uh, a chick that I was dating, she drove from Fresno to San Jose and back. You know, it was like shit. You know, really insane. You know, like really weird because you know you're making some pretty good money. If you drive a certain distance, like pretty far, I mean like from here to from Fresno to San Jose, you're making some pretty good money going that way, going to San Jose and then back. Um, but I feel for these cab drivers. I feel for these cab drivers because they're competing against a company that's paying, you know, ordinary Joe and Jane who's having a four door automobile, or yeah, and driving from point A to point B, and then you gotta take someone from point B back to point A. You're driving all fucking day, you know, and you got to think about it, you know, like think about it, you know. You know, it's something, you know, like it's something. But like I said, I feel for these cab drivers. You know, I mean, I feel for, you know, these guys, men and women who drive every day around town. You know, they gotta go from this side of town to the other side of town, or maybe even. I mean, I, I even feel for truckers that drive in like you got the state truck drivers, then you got the nationwide drivers that drive across country and shit. You know, I feel for those guys. You know, you gotta drive a certain amount of distance. You're on the clock a certain amount for a certain amount of hours, and then you gotta log in your miles, your time, and whatnot. I mean, cab drivers, man, shit. I would love to be a cab driver to know what it's like, you know, and just shit. I feel for those guys, you know. I feel for them. You got to deal with the Uber and Lyft and shit, you know. It's wrong. Really, pretty wrong. So, man, could you imagine? Steam has changed Steam is making change on the policy, and people are upset. and they're changing. I mean, that's like that's like YouTube changing their terms of service and shit. You know, they're changing their algorithm and shit. Why do that? You know, I mean, when I first came to YouTube, man, I was like, no problem, no problem, and they change each time. Like when I first started, there was an area where in YouTube that you could start an animation video. You could use it to do whatever, and I did about 4 or 5 of them, and had about 3 of them taken down on my original channel. Took them down, yeah. And I find it weird, but you know, it's life. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please share this video, and if you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and if you got this transmission, you are the resistance. And I want to give a shout out to the Worldwide Resistance Network, buddies of mine, Tinny Man, Chris Wolf, Robert, and Lucid, Tommy Bird, and everybody else. And if you've got this transmission, you are the resistance. Remember, knowledge is free. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Peace out. Revan out. 10-4, good buddy. Over and out.